We did it! You did it!
That was our most perfect intro ever. Close?
Very good.
I guess we'll never know.
You did awesome. You did awesome. Well, no offense to Meredith and Natalie, but that was yes, that was a very good intro. Good job. Good job.
Friday, check. I'm done. I'm calling it a day.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joel. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Excited about the weekend. I have some plans with some old friends, which I'm excited about.
What you got planned?
So I was on Facebook, and one of my friends that I hadn't hung out with in a really long time posted something, and I was like, I'm going to just check in and see how he's doing. And so we started chatting on Facebook Messenger, and then I was like, let's meet up and say hi. And so we're going to have lunch on Sunday. And so I'm super excited about that. We hung out before I had kids and before I was married, and we were good friends. And it's just nice to be able to reconnect with people that, were meaningful in your life at some point. And it's just life has a funny way of just moving forward.
So wait, so you mean you actually use social media for what it's for, which is to connect with people? What?
I do.
That's just
I do.
wacky.
And let me tell you something else about my social media. I barely get any political posts. Like everything I get is like babies being born, and I get lots of positive stuff. So I feel like I got good juju going out into the universe. Or I only like things that are like cute furry animals and babies.
You know how to play the algorithm, because unfortunately I've clicked news articles. So one day I was actually on there and it was nothing but news. And I'm like, do I have friends? Like, do I have anybody on there? And then, yeah, so it was all good. So I'm very excited. That's awesome.
What's going on in your world? How's everything going in Palm Springs?
Absolutely loving it. The weather is starting to cool down. We're getting those brisk mornings. So when I take the pupster for a walk, it's about like maybe 60 degrees. It's so chilly. I'm like, oh, everything is going very well.
And I know that you shared with me before we started the live show that Chester had a good day at the doggy daycare and was a A+ student. So
yes,
good job, Chester.
Our neurotic puppy is doing very well. So we're very excited by that. Very excited.
I'm very happy. Very proud puppy parents.
Can you close that, please? Thank you, sir. And we get the caffeine delivery. So it's a good day. It's a very good day.
Tell Bill, where's mine?
It's in your hand, actually. We can see you. You do
this
know.
Is homemade. This is homemade. I don't have the good stuff. Okay, I don't have the good stuff. So we're.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You do it.
Okay. I'm very excited for our guest today. So one thing we'll go ahead and give the backstory a little bit. So one thing we want to do is, now that we're coming up to the season of giving, we really want to take our time to focus on some incredible nonprofits throughout the affiliated with the LAX Coastal Chamber of Commerce. Plug. So this week, I'm super excited because we are going to bring out just an awesome, awesome woman. I absolutely adore her. Her name is Emily Harvey. She is the CEO for the Boys and Girls Club of Venice. Emily, join us. Come there.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, you're so articulate.
Great.
I
try.
Well, thank you for joining us. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.
We promise to be kind
in
the season of giving.
So we're going to back up really quick here. So you're the CEO. When we initially met, you were the development director, I believe. So
yes.
Walk us. How long have you been with the club? When did you get to become CEO? Like, tell us your life story.
All right.
Tell us everything, every detail.
All the dirt.
Okay. Let's see if I can get everything in. Yes. So I joined the club about 6 years ago. I started on the resource development team. So I actually started and was flung into gala prep, which it seems like is what we do for all new employees. I don't know. It's just like, it's our biggest event. So it's probably the time when we're like, oh shoot, we need help. And
So
we
that's the
really,
test. Like if they can survive that, they're a good fit.
yes.
Okay.
It's their sort of hit the ground running, or trial by fire, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually started, and shortly after, the person who was in charge of the development team left. And so it created a vacancy that I, just sort of swung into. And it seems like that's been the career path for me at the club, where people have left and I've just sort of inserted myself into that position, and then it's become a formal title.
Now that sounds very diabolical. Either you're very lucky or it's very diabolical. It's one of the two.
I'm going to go with I'm very lucky. Otherwise I sound a bit mean. So
I don't know. They just keep leaving. I don't know.
yeah. Well, that's the nature of nonprofit work. So we experience quite a bit of turnover in comparison to for-profit companies. So there's always room for growth. And that's what I like to tell all of the employees, is like, people leave rapidly. It's a thing that the nonprofit world has to figure out, is how to really retain good employees. But on the flip side, there's always going to be room for growth for everybody. And so it's a really nice way for people to move up sort of quickly, which is essentially what I did. So yeah, I was the development director, and then COVID hit and things became a bit murky. We closed, naively thinking it was going to be 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks turned into quite a bit longer. And I took it on myself to really, how do we continue to serve the families who need some sort of connection during COVID, or how do we make sure that they're okay? And through that, I developed the virtual learning program that we started offering. And then from there, I really, I saw that other organizations were either that they remained open, or they were figuring out ways to open up. So I worked with our safety committee to really develop a plan so that we could open up for children of essential workers. And through that, I guess that the board saw that I had a bigger leadership capability than maybe they had thought previously. And we didn't have a CEO or really any sort of boss. And so I was promoted, and the rest is history.
Well, congratulations. I will say, the Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit, but before this, I worked for the YMCA, and I think the reason the turnover is so high in nonprofits is because you're expected to be good at so many things. You must be good in operations and administration. And, at times I worked in development as well, but at times I was helping out in aquatics, because when you're short staffed, you just do whatever you need to do. And I think that's one of the challenges, that it's very easy to burn out in nonprofit. It's one of those jobs where you're driven by the mission and the passion of the organization, and you feel so good doing it, but you also sometimes give a little too much of yourself.
A lot of times.
It's a lot of times. So I really commend you, and I commend your board for seeing such tremendous talent in you and bringing you up through the ranks. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you've got one heck of a crew there. I mean, from one of my favorite people who won't talk about her right now.
I think she's watching.
Oh, is she? Oh, is Kelsey watching? Is she watching? Interesting. Yeah, so adore Kelsey, Jose, Dolores. I mean, the people that are at this club are just some of the best people I think I've met throughout period. I mean, it's just a incredibly good, hardworking, fun, caring group of people. And it's wonderful to see everybody working so hard to help these kids out and just making such a huge impact on their life.
Yeah. This club is so special. I think it's very rare to have people that have worked at a nonprofit and at an organization for more than 30 years. And we have 3 employees who have done that. And so I think it's just beautiful to see that people believe so passionately that this club is doing, really phenomenal things for the community, and for them to have, stuck with it for this long. It just makes me feel like this is a really special place. And I feel very honored to be able to sort of, be at the helm and guide us to the next step.
That's so great. Go for it,
I was
Christine.
going to say, so COVID. What do you think some of the biggest lessons that you learned during the pandemic, and how have you really taken those lessons to catapult the club to the next level as its CEO?
The biggest lesson by far would be that I think all of us have learned to pivot so rapidly, so many times, from, okay, it's looking like everything's safe and we're good to go again, to, okay, pull back. And now we need to revise. Okay, let's learn how to deal with vaccination and vaccination mandates. And is everybody wearing their masks? And how do we do COVID protocols? We've just had to adjust our operations so many times in the past 2 years that it's been challenging, of course, but it's also been great to see that we are capable of pivoting quickly and doing it well, so that we're able to, really serve our mission, which is to help the kids that need us the most.
And it's pretty amazing. I mean, some of the programs that were, so during the whole COVID, I know that there was a food drive as well to help some of the families and kids who were there. I mean, you were reopening on a limited basis. What are some of the programs that you think you implemented during COVID that you can see going into the future?
Yeah. Well, the food program being one, food insecurity is still so prevalent. And I think it's interesting for people to think about, because when you think about Venice, you really think about, like affluent families living here. You think about Silicon Beach, you think about these large companies coming in, and a lot of the families who might be lower income or who might have lived here for 50 years or so, they're really left out of the conversation. And when COVID hit, they were brought to the forefront again. And so I don't see us not, like, I think that we will have an obligation to provide meals and assist families with staples for quite a while, which is something that we didn't do previously. We really focused on the after school enrichment activities, and now we're really focusing on the whole well-being of the kids that we're serving, as well as the families. And so doing mental health check-ins, making sure that mental health support and services are really wrapped into all of the programs that we offer. So kids know, like, if they're just having a rotten day, if they're just not feeling it, they can be themselves, and they can express that in any program that they participate in at the club, and we will be able to provide them with the support that they need.
I think that was actually one of the best lessons from COVID, is that we were able to really, everybody had to, well, first of all, you had to stop. You literally had no choice but to stop. But I think it gave everybody the time, whether it's a nonprofit or personally, you could actually reevaluate life and what is important and what needs to be done. And, the mission, the challenges you guys faced were, you're facing your normal ones to begin with, about how do you handle these kids, but now you're actually taking on the families, and you're trying to really, it's all the things that we didn't think about before. We just took it for granted, or we just had blinders on because we were just stuck in these ruts. And so I think it's huge to see what you guys are doing. Absolutely huge. So
The unfreezing of culture that we talk about. The pandemic forced us to reevaluate how we were operating and really reassess what the needs were of our constituents so we could serve them in a different way. And I think that this is really a wonderful opportunity for so many organizations to take that deep dive and look a little deeper into how to serve.
Absolutely. And how to really impact too. When you talk about organizations like ours, you people really focus on, like, the number of kids that you're able to serve, and that is important. You do want to serve as many kids as you can, but also we want to really impact the kids that we serve and really help them and make sure that they're okay. And so being able to know that maybe you're not hitting those numbers that you were pre-COVID, and that's to be expected. It's, we're still in such a weird time. But the kids that we are serving, we're really impacting them, and we're impacting their families, and we're providing services that are completely wraparound services that we didn't do previously. So they're getting more than an art class or a music class. They're really able to access every opportunity that they can while at the club.
I love
That's
that.
really cool.
And so now,
Really meaningful. I'm sure you're just making such a big difference in the lives of these kids who haven't had the opportunity to get out and experience things. So I really commend you guys on the work that you do.
Thank you. It's definitely been, an interesting, interesting is being very thoughtful. But, never have we seen our impact so quickly. We've been able to see how rapidly the work that we're doing is affecting these kids. When we first reopened, it was almost like everyone lost their ability to socialize, and who can blame them? Some of them are 7 years old. There's, if you're not practicing that skill, it's very quickly forgotten. But within a couple days, we're seeing smiles again through masks, of course, but it was just wonderful to see, like, the work that we're doing has a much greater impact and a much quicker impact than previously we would be able to see.
and the facilities that are there are just mind-blowing. I mean, you've got the recording studio, you have the art classes, you have all the after-school programs, you've got the sports gym. I mean, it's anybody who hasn't been there, I think they should totally schedule an appointment, make sure you're vaccinated and wearing a mask, but schedule an appointment with Emily to go and tour it, because it really is. I mean, the first time I went there, I had no idea what to expect, none whatsoever. And I was just blown away by the size of the place and then all the different things that are being done. And to see how happy these kids are, it's like, it's incredible what you guys are doing. Absolutely incredible. So you should feel very proud. Very proud.
Emily, is there a program at the facility that you think is like your really signature, most well known for, or your favorite program at the facility that you'd like to share with us?
Yes. Okay. So I have multiple, but I think we're most known for our art program, which I think is very fitting for the Venice community. It's a very art-heavy, art-focused community, and we have produced so many talented artists. Boys and Girls Club is a national organization, and each club is its own separate nonprofit, but nationally they hold art competitions every year. And we've won 23 times, which is remarkable considering how many organizations there are within the movement. And then, really they've only been doing this art competition for so many years. So to have 23 winners, which are featured in our art studio, is incredible and makes me so proud. And then our music program. So we really have a state-of-the-art recording studio and music program, and we're really rebuilding that now, because it was probably the toughest program to figure out how to run during COVID. And now that we're starting to get to the place where we can do a lot more, we're really focusing on rebuilding it. So guitar lessons, ukulele lessons, drum and percussion, music production, songwriting. We have a youth chorale. We previously did violin. We did it all: ballet, hip hop, all kinds of dance. Like, we try to really provide any sort of opportunity so that kids are getting exposure that they might not have had previously.
And that's so huge, because I remember growing up, we had whatever was offered in school. That was what you were exposed to. But you also had the peer pressure that came with, like, oh, you don't want to do those things. And every time I've been to the club, you've never felt the peer pressure. Like, you just see kids having fun and really learning, and they don't realize it probably, but like you said, the exposure that they can have. Like, I mean, if you want to take a violin class one day and then you want to go shoot some hoops the next day, and then say you want to try ballet, but I feel like painting today. I mean, you have all these different avenues, and it's so important for kids, especially we all know arts programs are cut left and right in schools. Unfortunately, they're one of the first ones to go. Don't get me started on that one. But to be able to have a place where they can go and learn
To express themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Which we find is really, I mean, schools where art programs are cut are schools where the kids aren't doing as well. So us being able to supplement what schools are getting rid of really makes us work in tandem with all of the schools that we work with, because together we're creating these like fully capable, responsible adults that are ready to take on the world when they graduate high school.
And there's more to it. It really is using a different side of your head, of your brain, when you're using art. I mean, it's not just studying what's in the book. It's not just playing sports, but there is a creative side that kids really need. I think everybody needs it. I mean, but kids especially, that has to be developed and nurtured. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, we actually piloted an art therapy program last year. And so it was really cool because kids that wouldn't necessarily gravitate towards the art department were learning a different way to do art or a different way to express themselves, which is important because not everyone is going to be great at talk therapy. Not everyone, wants to go play basketball. There's so many avenues for kids to express themselves, and it's incumbent on schools and organizations like ours to make sure that those avenues of expression are provided to them.
Yes.
And then the caveat is all of our programs are at no additional cost to the members. So money doesn't deter anyone from being able to participate.
That's even better.
No barrier to entry.
Yes.
So,
Well, as one of my favorite bands from the 90s said, life is all about expression.
wait, what band
So
is
express yourself.
it?
Salt and pepper.
Oh, okay. I was like,
You didn't know that. Come on, Joel.
You gotta express yourself. I went to Madonna. That's just, come on.
Oh.
I
That's
first went to
another thing.
Madonna as well. Express
See?
yourself.
I was telling you guys, I'm all about 1990s R&B. I'm all about it.
No, we won't
Well,
get into that.
Emily, it's been so nice. You're a wonderful chamber members, and I've actually gotten to meet you through introductions through our members that want to support the Boys and Girls Club. I know that United came and we did our holiday event there, which is where I feel like the first time I got to connect with Joel was at that holiday party at the Boys and Girls Club of Venice.
Oh,
I think that's the first time we hung out.
I actually met this is how we all know each other. So I actually went to Kelly and said, I want to do a fundraiser for something. She's like, oh, who do you want to talk to? I'm like, so I went over to the Boys and Girls Club. We met, we wound up throwing the holiday happy hour at Brennan's. And then that was 3 years ago now.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? And so that's just all spiraled into, we're helping you with the gala. And then we sponsor the families every year for Christmas or for the holidays. I mean, so it's just been, the chamber really is great at connecting people. And I'm so glad that they connected me with the Boys and Girls Club because it's incredible. It's incredible.
We're so glad that you got connected as well.
Yeah, we love having amazing nonprofits in the chamber, and we have so many of our corporations and so many of our small businesses that really want to connect and give back, and they might not have a charity that they're particularly have a connection with or have ever worked with. So it's nice to be able to put these two together and have them work together to do something really good in our backyard. So I love it.
Now, I'm sure you can see Christina has started holding something in her hand. So we are moving on now to probably one of everybody's favorite sections, which is our rapid fire round.
Okay.
All right.
Preparing myself.
Have you heard about this? Do I need to give you a little?
Joel briefed me, but
Okay,
I have 3 seconds to answer, right?
Would you like to do the announcement? Emily, are you ready for the rapid fire round? You have 3 seconds to answer the following questions. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, Emily, your first question. What is the most impressive thing you know how to do?
Oh my gosh, this one is hard. Bake cookies.
That is impressive. Now I expect to have some cookies delivered to the chamber. What song do you have to sing when you hear it on the radio?
Anything by Whitney Houston.
That's a good one. All right. My perfect day consists of fill in the blank.
A good book and some beach time.
Ooh, I like that too. What pop diva are you most like?
I really want to say Taylor Swift, but I don't think that's the answer. But that's my goal.
I like the goal. The goal is there. Finish the statement. It drives me crazy when
I have to deal with all of the traffic getting to work.
You live in LA.
Yeah. But I'm not from here, so.
That's true.
Okay. Next question. When you dance, you look like
A fool.
Cool. Okay, and since we're coming into the holiday season, I know we're not quite there yet, but I'd like to find out what your one wish for 2022 is.
I think more positivity.
That's good. More positivity for 2022. Let's make that a mantra for the rest of our binge lives. And I'm going to put this microphone down because it's actually not connected to anything and doesn't do anything at all. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So that was fantastic. Okay. So you'll sing along to any Whitney song, but you want to be Taylor Swift. I'm very confused.
Well,
Well,
I
you
think
can't
that
not sing to any Whitney Houston song. They're just
I agree.
iconic. Yeah.
And Taylor Swift's like America's sweetheart. Whitney Houston, she's wonderful, but she had some ups and downs that.
That's fair. But
Sure.
I sing along to every Whitney song as well. I know I shouldn't because nobody should sing Whitney. Like we watch all the voice competition shows. They always do Whitney, and we're like, don't do Whitney. There's just certain people like no singing competition should ever do. Just
Yeah.
don't.
And I sing to Whitney all the time as well, and I really shouldn't.
I
really
mean,
should.
I certainly shouldn't sing along to most songs. I'm not known for my incredible vocals talent.
Your vocal stylings. That's what I
Vocal stylings. Vocal stylings.
Mhm.
Well, so tell us how people can get more involved in the Venice Boys and Girls Club. What are you looking for? How can people support you? Tell us more.
Okay. Yes, please email me. My email is Emily@BGCV, like Boys Girls Club Venice.org. I would be happy to give you a tour or just chat on the phone and tell you more about the organization. We are coming up to holiday times. We do like to do a big effort around the holidays. We provide Thanksgiving meals to all of the families. So that's a big thing that we ask for donations for, whether it be food or monetary. And then in December, we do a big sort of holiday drive, toy drive. I invite every parent to come to the club and they can select some toys that we'll wrap on site for the kids. And we just want to make sure that everyone has a great holiday season, with no monetary constraints. And so clothing, shoes, toys, anything that you think a child or a teen might enjoy around the holiday season, we'll take and we'll gladly re-gift to our families.
I will say the toy wrapping day is anybody who's looking for something to volunteer and have one of the best times you will have ever. Do this event. Contact Emily to do it. I've done it for years, and it is seriously just it's just such a great time. I mean, you're just having fun with these parents and all this, and everybody should get involved and do this event. It is fan-freaking-tastic. I love that day.
Yeah.
Even though
yes, and the more volunteers that we get to wrap gifts means the less that I have to wrap, which is always a big bonus.
I love that you just brought it back to yourself. That's awesome. Way to go.
I will say that I did purchase an elf costume last year.
Okay,
letting
sounds
you
like
know,
we got our first volunteer.
Joel. So when you go wrap some gifts, I'll bring my elf costume, and I will wrap with you. I'm an excellent rapper too. Not like rap music, but I'm pretty good at that too. But I can rap gifts.
I just don't know what to say about an elf costume. That's a chat for another day. Just saying, but yeah, when you're wrapping gifts and you're trying to wrap like a football or a basketball, it's very entertaining to do. It's very.
Yes.
I'm sure. And you know what we didn't say? We just want to wish Meredith. She's not here today. I'm stepping in for Meredith. I just want to wish Meredith well and tell her that we miss her and she can come back and take her job back at any time. No problem. Well, Emily, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you. I'm just so impressed with what you're doing at the Boys and Girls Club, and we look forward to seeing more of you.
Thank you, and thank you again so much for having me.
All right. Well, everyone.
Thanks for watching. And
that's another show.
Reach out to Emily about the Boys and Girls Club of Venice. Please support them and help them. Just get to know them. They're such an incredible part of the community. So can't say enough about them. But thank you everyone for watching. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.